In the early 1900s, a vibrant Osage Nation village thrived in what is now Oklahoma. The community preserved its traditions, sustaining daily life while navigating the challenges and changes of a rapidly evolving region in the American heartland. In 1929, the Ingram family operated a turnip still in Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains. Together, they engaged in moonshining, maintaining family traditions while navigating the isolated, rugged terrain of the region during a challenging era in American history. In the late 1920s, Emery's Garage and Conoco Station served travelers along Route 66 in St. James, Missouri. This roadside hub offered fuel and repairs, reflecting the growing importance of automobiles and highways in America's heartland. In 1910, the DeMarco family of 10 lived in a single 10 by -11-foot room in a small shack on Forsyth's Bog, Turkeytown near Pemberton, New Jersey. The image was documented by photographer Lewis Hine. In 1924, a woman worked at old-fashioned washtubs on a farm in Rogers, located in eastern Bell County, Texas. Her daily labor reflects the routines and resilience of rural farm life in early 20th century America. In 1915, prized elm lumber was transported on sleds through the snowy streets of Messick in Wexford County, Michigan. This scene highlights the region's timber industry and the determination required to move heavy loads through harsh winter conditions. In 1898, hopeful prospectors journeyed toward the Klondike goldfields, making their way over the treacherous Chilkoot Pass in Alaska. Their arduous trek reflects the determination and ambition driving the gold rush at the turn of the century. In 1906, the Little Brown Store in Englewood, Colorado, proudly advertised the beans that make Boston jealous. This quaint establishment reflected local flavor and community pride, offering a glimpse into small-town life in early 20th century America. Around 1900, the Dancing Annie, a Wanigan, owned by the Chippewa Lumber and Boom Company, floated near Eagle River, Wisconsin. This cook shack, warehouse, and supply depot followed the log drives, providing lumberjacks with food and essential supplies. In the 1880s, Matthias F. Stanton and his family lived in a log cabin in Ottenham, Yakima County, Washington. This home reflects the pioneer life of the region, as documented by the Yakima Valley Museum. In 1909, the Klondike Dance Hall and Saloon operated in Seattle, Washington. As a hub of social life, it offered entertainment and gathering space, reflecting the city's vibrant culture and leisure activities in the early 20th century. In 1936, a farmer's family in Smithland, Iowa, gathered for Christmas dinner. Their meal of potatoes, cabbage, and pie reflects the simple, hearty traditions of rural life during the era, offering a glimpse into holiday celebrations in the Midwest. In 1910, the interior of a country store in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, featured a large heating stove on the right. This glimpse into early 20th century commerce highlights the practical design and everyday life of rural American communities. The Crib Trestle Bridge carried the Columbia and Nehalem Valley Railroad in Columbia, Oregon. This engineering structure supported the region's transportation and logging efforts, illustrating the vital role of railroads in early 20th century American industry. In 1900, a cowboy with a rifle posed alongside a stagecoach in Cody, Wyoming. This scene captures the rugged frontier life of the American West at the turn of the century, highlighting the region's enduring Wild West imagery. In 1939, a customer enjoyed a glass-bottled pop inside a general store in Lemoore, Iowa. This simple moment reflects everyday life in small-town America, where local shops served as hubs of community and social interaction. In 1910, a horse-drawn Pepsi-Cola wagon made its way through the streets of Old New York. This scene reflects the era's urban commerce and the early distribution methods of popular beverages in a rapidly growing city. In 1940, a boy in Claiborne County, Tennessee, poured a bucket of coal into a stove to warm his classroom. This moment reflects the daily efforts and resourcefulness of rural schools in mid-20th century America. In 1902, a logging camp operated in the Minnesota Forest Reserve, now the Chippewa National Forest. Workhorses dominated the labor, while a few oxen also played important roles, illustrating the reliance on animal power in early logging operations. In 1903, the Belton, Texas Fire Department presented a well-organized and professional appearance. This glimpse into early 20th century civic life highlights the pride and dedication of local firefighters serving their community in small-town America. In 1895, patrons gathered at the Man at the Wheel Saloon in San Pedro, California. This establishment served as a social hub, offering a glimpse into the leisure and nightlife of a bustling coastal community at the turn of the century. In the early 20th century, a passenger steamboat traveled the Ohio River at Evansville, Indiana. These vessels provided vital transportation, linking communities and supporting commerce, while offering a glimpse into the daily rhythms of river life in America's heartland. In the 1940s, a woman in Claiborne County, Tennessee, made apple butter in a large cauldron in her yard. The image, captured by Joe Clark, is part of the Clark family photo collection at the University of North Texas, around 1889. Following the land opening, a boomer established a home in Oklahoma. This dwelling reflects the early settlement patterns and the determination of those seeking opportunity. During the rapid expansion of the American frontier in the late 19th century, a Blackfoot Native village existed at Upper St. Mary's Lake, in what is now Glacier National Park, Montana. The community represents the enduring presence and traditions of the Blackfoot people in the region. In 1923, an elderly woman in Spencer County, Indiana, prepared a batch of lye soap in her yard. This scene reflects the self-sufficiency and traditional domestic practices common in rural American households of the early 20th century. Around 1890, a family enjoyed dinner outdoors in Iowa County, Wisconsin. This moment captures the simplicity and togetherness of rural life, as documented by the Mineral Point Historical Society, offering a glimpse into daily family routines of the era. In 1905, loggers worked to fell a massive noble fir on Larch Mountain, Oregon. This scene highlights the scale and challenge of early 20th century logging, showcasing the skill and labor required to harvest timber in the Pacific Northwest. In the 1940s, a farm in Claiborne County, Tennessee, produced sorghum syrup in the Appalachian Mountains. This traditional process reflects the resourcefulness and agricultural practices of rural families in the region during the mid-20th century. In Appleton, Wisconsin, young girls worked in the paper mills. Their labor reflects the industrial workforce of the era, highlighting the contributions of women and children to early 20th century manufacturing in the region. In the 1940s, a customer warmed himself at the large stove inside a general store in Middlesbrough, Kentucky. This scene captures the cozy, communal atmosphere of rural stores, serving as both marketplace and gathering place for the community. In the 1880s, a cowboy saloon operated in Pecos, Texas. This establishment served as a social hub for cowboys and locals, reflecting the rugged lifestyle and vibrant frontier culture of West Texas during the late 19th century. In 1896, rag collectors roamed the streets of Old New York City. Their work illustrates the bustling urban economy of the era, where resourcefulness and labor shaped the daily lives of the city's poorest residents. In 1898, gold seekers paused in Sheep Camp, Alaska, on their journey to the Klondike. This stopover highlights the challenges and determination of those pursuing fortune during the Klondike gold rush at the turn of the century. In 1940, the E.T. Williams Cash Grocery Gas and Oil operated in Buckeye, Arizona. This multifaceted business provided groceries, fuel, and essentials, reflecting the versatility and community role of small-town enterprises in mid-20th century America. Around the 1860s, the Overland Stage Station operated at Fort Bridger, Wyoming. This station served as a key stop for travelers and mail, illustrating the vital role of stagecoach routes in connecting communities across the American West. In 1946, the Spot Lunch dining car operated in Madison, Wisconsin. This mobile eatery provided convenient meals to locals, reflecting the post-war era's evolving dining culture and the role of casual, accessible food establishments in mid-20th century America. In 1889, a sod schoolhouse stood approximately 60 miles west of Myrna, in Custer County, Nebraska. This humble structure reflects the resourcefulness of pioneer communities, providing education on the plains with the materials and means available to early settlers. Likely in the early 1900s, the W.L. Robinson Dry Goods Store operated in Avondale, Georgia. This establishment served the local community in what is now part of the Middle Georgia Regional Airport, offering a glimpse of early 20th century commerce. Around 1910, the N.C. Jensen Blacksmith Shop operated in Erickson, Nebraska. This workshop provided essential services to the community, from horseshoeing to tool repair. reflecting the vital role of skilled trades in early 20th century rural life. 1868, a supply train arrived on Market Street in Denver, Colorado, having traveled from Leavenworth, Kansas. This delivery illustrates the vital connections between frontier towns and the reliance on overland transport for goods in the post-Civil War West. In the early 1900s, a neighborhood in Syracuse, New York, was blanketed in snow. This winter scene captures daily life in an American city at the turn of the century, reflecting both the season and urban community rhythms. In 1878, Capt. Don Roberts's Texas Rangers camped below Fort McCavitt in Menard County, Texas. Notably, the ranger at left carries his knife in front of his holster, highlighting the gear and readiness of frontier lawmen. Around 1900, the Bowery Market operated in New York City. This bustling marketplace offered goods to residents, reflecting the vibrant commercial activity and daily life of urban communities at the turn of the after 20th century. Between 1884 and 1889, a store in Miles City, Montana, offered a wide variety of goods for sale. This scene reflects the bustling commerce of a frontier town and the diverse needs of its growing community. In 1917, a group camped atop a fallen tree in Sequoia National Park, California. This scene captures the adventurous spirit of early park visitors and the ways people engage directly with the natural beauty of America's protected landscapes. In 1912, a recently married young couple lived in a small cabin in the Great Smoky Mountains, either in Tennessee or North Carolina. Their home reflects the simplicity and resilience of life in the Appalachian region during the early 20th century. Around 1880, the Meade family lived in a dugout home in Ford County, Kansas. This modest dwelling reflects the resourcefulness of frontier settlers, illustrating the challenges and ingenuity required to establish a household on the Great Plains. In the late 19th century, 5 men navigated the Kentucky River on a flatboat loaded with barrels. This scene illustrates the river's role in regional trade and transport, highlighting the labor and skill required for waterborne commerce of the era. In the late 19th century, the Warwick Drug Store operated in Warwick, North Dakota, featuring a large, prominent stove. This interior reflects the practical design and daily life of small-town businesses in the American frontier. Around 1907, cowboys of the XIT Ranch in Texas posed in front of their bunkhouse. This scene captures the daily life and camaraderie of ranch workers on one of the largest cattle operations in early 20th century America. In 1865, Hudson Street in New York City featured a thriving business district. This bustling area reflects the commercial growth of post-Civil War urban America, illustrating the energy and activity of one of the city's key thoroughfares. Around 1914, a family prepared for a Sunday drive in their open touring car. This scene reflects the early adoption of automobiles in American life and the leisure activities of families during the burgeoning age of motor travel. In 1911, the Alamo stood in San Antonio, Texas, as a historic landmark. This site preserves the memory of pivotal events in Texas history, offering a tangible connection to the state's early struggles for independence. In 1905, Main Street in Goldfield, Nevada, bustled with horse-drawn carts and wagons. Numerous businesses, including the Hotel Esmeralda, Mint Theater, Union Drugstore, and several banks, illustrate the town's thriving commerce during this peak of the gold boom. In 1910, US Mail departed the post office in Sheboygan, Michigan, bound for Point-O-Pins and Walker's Point by dog sled. This scene highlights the resourcefulness and determination required to deliver mail across snowy, remote landscape. In 1900, a crowded gold mining camp thrived near Skagway, Alaska. This bustling settlement reflects the rush of prospectors drawn by the promise of fortune, illustrating the intensity and challenges of life in the Klondike Gold Rush era. Around 1880, 42nd Street in New York City experienced a very busy day. Crowds, traffic, and street activity illustrate the energy of urban life during the late 19th century, capturing the bustling pace of a growing metropolis. Around 1890, a stagecoach traveled from Dolores, Colorado, to the San Juan Mountains. This journey highlights the challenges of frontier transportation and the critical role of stagecoaches in connecting remote communities across the rugged landscapes of the American West. In the 1890s, a mountain family lived in a cabin in East Tennessee. This home reflects the simplicity and self-sufficiency of rural Appalachian life. offering a glimpse into the daily routines and resilience of families in the region. In the 1860s, a miners' boarding house operated in Palmetto, California. This lodging provided essential shelter and community for gold seekers, reflecting the daily life and challenges faced by miners during the California Gold Rush era. Around 1877, gold miners worked in Deadwood, Dakota Territory. Their labor reflects the rush for precious metals in the American West, illustrating both the hopes and hardships faced by those drawn to frontier mining towns during this era. In 1938, a Standard Oil gas station operated in Ann Arbor, Michigan. This station provided fuel and services to motorists, reflecting the growth of automobile culture and the increasing importance of roadside businesses in 20th century America. In 1864, C Street, in Virginia City, Nevada, was a bustling thoroughfare. This view captures the energy of a mining town during the Comstock lode boom, illustrating the commerce, architecture, and daily life of the era. In February 1905, the Mississippi River froze solid. This rare natural event transformed the mighty waterway, illustrating the harshness of winter and the dramatic seasonal changes that shaped life and commerce along one of America's great rivers.